Here we go. We have good evidence that the language nest can be a key component in language revitalization. Success with this model has been proven with the Maoris, Hawaiians, Shuswap, and Blackfeet. Therefore, it is logical to consider establishing a language nest if we are doing language revitalization. Defining a language immersion. So language immersion, there we go. Language immersion is a useful concept in revitalization because it immerses people in the language where they are hearing and producing language. Its very nature promotes language use. It is a period of time where you only speak the target language. It is often referred to as full immersion. It can occur anywhere and is not confined by space. The beginning and end of the immersion can be defined by time, such as from 1 to 3. The beginning and end can also be defined by an activity, such as while washing dishes, holding a meeting, giving a presentation. Definitions for a language nest. See, language nest has two definitions that I know of. Both are full immersions, but the idea that there is a physical space where only the target language is spoken at all times is essential. So the first definition is a nest for language, which is a physical location where the language is nested, not the learners. This concept creates a metaphor of a home for the language where you are giving it a place to breathe. And then the second definition is a nest for children, which is kind of the most common one that you'll see in Aotearoa and Hawaii. So that's a physical location where the children are nested in the language. This approach provides a metaphor of a nest for children where they feel safe and nurtured and will be well prepared before they go grow wings and fly on their own. So what we're going to do here is build up to the first definition in this class, is having a physical space for the language. Language nest requirements. Nests for children can require a great deal of resources that may or may not be available, including time, money, and personnel. It involves an educational component with a classroom, qualified teachers, and curriculum. It's an excellent goal, but it may not be a viable project for several language communities where time and monies are minimal. Nests for language, on the other hand, can be done in our homes and is as simple as posting a sign that says, in your language, no English. Why language nests are effective? The reason why language nests work has several factors. An aspect we'd like to note is as follows. When we create a language nest, we shift our internal motivations into an external expectation to speak the target language. We have good evidence that this level of language commitment is more secure than an internal motivation, which can waver from time to time according to how we feel and what is occurring around us. Language nest location. So a language nest consists of domains we reclaim for the language. You do not need to make your whole house a language nest. If possible, pick a portion of the house where you do activities that you want to reclaim, such as the kitchen, bathroom, etc. Steps for developing a language nest. Begin reclaiming domains within that location. Post the domain phrases so you can refer to them as you do the activity. After you've reclaimed a sufficient number of domains, post a sign that says no English and commit to not speaking English in your nest. Give this small part of the world back to your language so that your language can live. You can expand your nest after it is well established. So yeah, we're starting out with the bathroom domains, and we won't get to the language nest by the end of this term, But if you guys continue on for the spring term, then we will build up to the language nest by then. And conclusion, so this is just a small portion of language revitalization. As you build your speaking time from 1 to 2 and eventually 3 hours per day, you'll find new areas to expand your language use. And yeah, that's it. So any questions on the language nest?
I didn't have a question, but like I was
Comment.
watching this video today where like these Spanish speakers were talking about how some people they don't pick up their the first language of their parents and learn Spanish. And this other gentleman was talking about like how when his like nieces and nephews are around his grandparents, he like they try to talk to his mom and dad in like English, but he will like make them talk to their grandmother in Spanish to like keep the language going. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. Completely different language, but I was just kind of reminding me of that a little bit. But he was being a good uncle and trying to like keep the Spanish culture intact or something. I don't know.
My auntie was saying that that's actually how it used to be when she said when them old Indians would call over the phone, they would speak to us in Pit River, and if we didn't answer fast enough, we'd be in trouble. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It's funny.
Yeah. No, you guys are both right on there. That's definitely trying to like keep the intergenerational transmission, the passing the language on from the older generation to the younger generation. So yeah, this is like why we're making a space in the home, right, for the language, because it's it's difficult. And you see it even with a language like Spanish. That's a huge language, it's a huge world language, but when you're in a country that's primarily English speaking and everything you see and hear and read it is in English, or the vast majority of it, then it's hard to maintain that language over time, like across generations. So that's like what that uncle was doing, is just creating, at least it sounds like, a time where they only speak Spanish, right? So yeah, and then like she was saying, the elders, Letty was saying, the elders call, and that's like the time where you're supposed to only speak Pit River. So this is creating a space, so it's a little, I guess, different than just a time period. Both of those can work as long as you're consistent with it. So yeah, those are good examples for sure.
I really liked in your PowerPoint, just the idea, the thought of having one space in your life, that excludes English. I mean, you don't think about it often, but it almost like just makes me feel emotional, like you can't go anywhere in the world really without being, having that influence. So just even that one space, how powerful it is,
Yeah.
Even bathroom.
Right. Yeah. It's like, it's kind of funny because it's your bathroom, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah, exactly. It's pretty powerful. Like, okay, here's a small space in the whole world where only Pit River is being spoken. And we haven't had that for a long time. So this is kind of a very beginnings of this process of recreating a space that's just for Pit River. So yeah. Cool. Glad you guys like that. All right, so I'm gonna go on to some more of the alphabet. I think we left off, yeah, we finished with that last week, a lot of little S and H. So now we got the vowels. The vowels are a lot more straightforward than in English. I mean, for the most part, yeah. So they're actually fairly similar to Spanish. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Spanish vowels. So it's the I would sound like E, or sometimes I, kind of depending on where it is in the word. And it's usually, like, I guess if it's a short vowel, kind of maybe at the beginning of a word, it might sound more like I. And usually if it's at the end of the word, it'll sound like E, like chumi sun we. So that E. But that's, you kind of just, I don't know, feel it out. The E sounds like eh. The A is ah, and the O is o, and the U is u. Sometimes can kind of be So yeah, E, a, o, u.
Yeah. Oh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be like eat two?
Yeah, so
Kind of
okay.
like the Spanish, but like my in Pit River, or
Mm-hmm. So that's a good, yeah, that's kind of a good example. It too, I usually hear it said
two.
it too, more of a I. So
If
that's kind of one of the examples where it can kind of be, yeah, sound more of like a I. It's kind of hard to tell if, like, maybe just, if you say E, like E2, like you say it really fast, then it sounds more like I than E, like
two,
E2.
if two.
Yeah. Or like let's see, where it's like is. I've heard is, but sometimes I kind of hear it sounds more like is. So yeah, that's why I'm saying like the I kind of sounds sometimes like I, but a lot of times it's more like E. Any other questions on that?
Connor, I have a question.
Sure.
So when you said chew me soon we,
Mm-hmm.
so that sounds like E to me. And there's,
Yes.
but you said E is eh.
So the first letter here, the I,
Uh-huh.
so that either sounds like E or I. So at the end of Chumi Sunwi, it's a I, so that would definitely sound more like E.
Oh,
Chumi
okay.
Sunwi. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if that was confusing.
It's okay. No worries.
All right.
I just had to clarify.
Yeah. Great. Great. All right. Okay. So here's the slightly harder part about vowels. So I think I've mentioned this before, but Pit River is a tonal language. So that means the actual like tone or the pitch of your voice, how high or low it is, matters. And luckily, Pit River just has two tones, high tone and low tone. Some other languages can have a lot more. Like Mandarin has 4 tones, Cantonese has 5 tones. I think Thai has 5 tones, and like Vietnamese too.
What about
Um,
Navajo?
Navajo has 2 tones like us. They have
Yeah.
high and low. Navajo is a good example, and then Cherokee has 5 tones, but I've also read that it has like 7 tones as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other native languages that are tonal, but I can't think off the top of my head. But there's definitely a few other ones out there. So for us, the low tone is represented by just a plain vowel. So E, E, A, O, U. And then a high tone is represented with these accent marks over the vowel. So that's E, E, A, O, U. So I can give examples. So like E versus E, I don't know if you can hear my voice starting low. So E, and then over here it would be E, and then E versus E, and then A versus A, and then O versus O, and then U versus U. And why this is important is because sometimes the only difference between two different words is the tone. So you think of the tone almost as like a letter, right? If it's a different tone, then it changes the whole word. So here we have two words that sound the same except for the tone. So up is soap root, and then up here, up is mouth. So up.
I hate to interrupt you, but how do you
Sure.
say tobacco then?
Oh, that tobacco is oop.
Oop.
Yeah, with a U.
And do you push out the consonant P or?
Yeah, yep. Oop.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, just UP. Okay. That's a good question because yeah, it's similar too. And then here we have winter versus winter house. So a joy versus a joy. Right. Oops. Oops. Okay. A joy. And then this is just an example of a word with like high and low. So CUE. So CUE. And then here we have a whole bunch of highs and low tones. So lahiuiuma. So yeah, some of the longer words it'll be kind of crazy like that. So yeah, any questions on the tones? Oh yeah, one of the I don't know why I didn't add this before. So this is probably the funniest example of two words that sound almost the same. Yeah. So you're gonna want to get this one right. So yeah, choke with a low tone, that's flickerbird, and then choke with a high tone, that's anus. So you don't want to accidentally call someone an asshole. So yeah, Chris, did you have a question? Oh, okay.
I was just sounding things out.
Oh, okay. I thought you were raising your hand. My bad. Yeah. Yeah. So that's another
So,
thing to
I
pay
have a
attention to.
question.
Sure.
So that word for anus, so what's the difference? Like if you, because I grew up hearing talak.
Which word?
Talak.
Oh. I don't know.
so,
Did you hear that too?
oh yeah, my grandma used to say it.
Mm-hmm.
It means like your butthole or like
No, I guess, well, I don't know.
because I know
just wondering, like, because I mean, you could hear it in all different kinds of context, I guess. Maybe it means like you're behind, like.
yeah, because I know the word bulk. Let's see. So bulk like that's from what I know, that's butt, like the butt, not the not the anus, but
Not
the
the anus.
yeah. So this would just be like, butt. Oops.
Bulk.
Bulk. Well, that's what I've seen anyways. It's just bulk is like butt, whereas
Oh.
choke is the anus specifically. So yeah, there could be another word for it too. That means like something similar.
Because I mean, I would hear it in the context of like, you know, we better behave,
Mm,
with you. I used to hear,
like get your
like,
butt over here or something.
yeah, or like, someone that I knew, used to say, like, and excuse me, like, I always interpreted it, like, it was kind of like a slang thing. Like they would say, like, you know, you're, and then they would say, dalak, and meaning like, oh, your ass. But like, like in a way, like, I don't know how to explain, like they were being, it was kind of not derogatory, but like
Mm.
meant to kind of be smart or rude. And then like I remember like my uncle, my great uncle, and like elders like cousin Raymond, which is Chris's grandpa, like different ones. Um, well, like when people would get together, of just saying like things like "Galatuse," almost, and I thought it meant like crazy ass, like someone's being crazy,
Mm.
uh, something like that. So I was just wondering, can you say that last word again? What you said, buck? What
Oh,
is it?
bulk. I think it's a low tone. I think it's just bulk.
Bulk.
Bulk. Yeah.
Bulk.
Bulk. Yeah. Um,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, from
Sorry.
what I know, that's just general, but
Okay.
and then I've heard people say Buawi bulk, which would be like cow butt, like call somebody a cow butt.
Yeah.
Buawi bulk. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Balak, is that what you said? Balak.
Um, it could either sound like dalak, like
Balak.
um, my stepdad, who was from Hat Creek, used to say it like that, and then my um, like my grandma and those guys downriver would say talak with the like that TD sound, talak.
Yeah. Okay. Balak. Balak.
How'd you hear it, Chris?
I mean, like as a kid, it did sound like a D or I don't know, or maybe a T.
Mm-hmm.
Toluk or
Dalak.
Toluk,
You're talak.
Toluk,
Yeah.
Toluk, something like that,
Yeah.
But
Even now, like my auntie will say, oh, go, like, let's change your talak to the little babies, like when they're changing a diaper or something.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, could be another word for something like that. I don't know. I'll have to try to find it, or if you, I don't know, write it how it sounds. I'll look into that because now it's always fun to know all those kind of words. So that's cool. That's cool. There's another word for that. All right. So in addition to tone, uh, Pit River also has length. So I can't remember. I think yeah, I don't remember if it was this class or another class, but somebody asked about that also because they noticed how there's sometimes two of the same letters next to each other. And so what that means is if there's two of the same letters next to each other, it's a long letter. It's a longer sound. So just a single A like this would be ah, and then two A's would be ah, ah, ah. Um, so yeah, like when you listen to fluent speakers, you can sometimes you can really tell the difference. Other times, you know, they're speaking fast, like you have to really pay attention to be able to tell if it's a longer or shorter sound. But there is a difference. Like you know, the fluent speakers, it's a consistent difference. So here we have an example of Lu is cloud, Lu. So it's a long A and a short L, and then the U has a high tone on it. So Lu. And then hungry is a Lu. So it's a short A and a long L, and then the U is low tone. So a Lu. Oh, I forgot to have you guys say try saying these words. Just remember that. Okay. So I'll finish explaining this, then we'll go back and try to say those. And then here, so this word has a long M in it, so it's yummy. Yummy. If it was a short M, it would just be yummy. Yummy. So you just hold that M a little bit. So it too. This is kind of a harder one. So this is a long aspirated T.
So
It too. So what you do with this one is so when you make the T sound, you can like feel like your tongue kind of like touches behind your teeth. It too. So you just hold that spot for like a second longer before you say the two. So it too. So that's how you make the long, like with all of the aspirated consonants, or yeah, it too.
So instead of like comparing to like a glottal stop where you'd stop
Mm.
and then continue again, like this would be just like holding it and then
Yes,
pressing it forward, kind of. Or
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, because yeah, it's not a glottal stop. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. So it too. And then here we have a long O and a long E. So tewi.
So daily.
Mm-hmm.
So
So tewi. Yep. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, any more questions on these?
yeah, my little guy Cyrus, his middle name is Lute,
Oh, okay.
but I think I spelt it like, I mean, it's all in the pronunciation, but like hungry on his birth certificate. Lute.
Mhm. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I mean, yeah, like people, a lot of people, you know, naming their kids after Pit River words nowadays, which is cool. And then yeah, they just kind of spell it like how they think it should be spelled. That's cool, you know, especially since like we're just now trying to establish this alphabet. So yeah, it's a process. But that's awesome.
Could you do the cloud again?
Sure. So Lu.
And that's a short or that's a long?
So it's a long A
Long A, okay.
and the L is short. Lu.
Lou, okay.
Yeah. And
And
then
then
here
hungry would be,
so this is a long L because there's two L's right there. So that's a Lu. A
a
Lu.
Lou.
Yeah. So you just hold the ul slightly
Lu,
longer. A
okay.
Lu. A Lu. Yep.
And then the L, what did you just say? The L is longer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, okay. I forgot to have you guys try saying the examples from the tones. So we're going to go back and do that real quick. So Chris, up or up versus up.
Up. versus
All right, yeah, good. Toos. Letty, up, up.
Up. Up.
Toos. All right, Kenwa, up, up.
Up.
Toos. And Lisa, up, up.
Up, up,
Toos. And Tawea, up, up.
Up, up,
Toos. And Mercy, up, up.
Up, up.
Toos.
Sorry, it kind of sounds like the same to me, but I hear that difference. I do.
Yeah, it takes some practice, especially to like kind of make it more automatic when you speak. It takes a little while. Like, yeah, especially
No, you're
with
good. I
Yeah,
just hope
yeah.
I didn't make it sound
No.
the same. That's all.
no, I could hear a difference. Good. Okay, then we got Us Joy versus Us Joy. Chris.
Okay, there's Us Joy versus Us Joy.
Okay, Tooth. And Kenwa. Us Joy. Us Joy.
Us joy. Us joy.
Tooth. Lisa. Us Joy. Us Joy.
us, joy, us, joy,
Tooth. And Toya. Us Joy. Us Joy.
us joy, us joy.
Tooth.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You like really emphasized it, but that's good. That's cool. All right. Mercy, Us Joy, Us Joy.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Sure. So Us Joy, Us Joy.
Joy, joy.
Okay.
And
Tooth.
it's very hard for me to pronounce that for some reason.
All good. It's all good. Yeah, no, sounds good. All right, Letty, Us Joy, Us Joy.
Us joy. Us joy.
Tooth. All right, and then I'll just skip over to this last one. Okay. Joke versus joke. Letty.
Joke. Joke.
Toos. And Kenwa. Joke. Joke.
Choke. Choke.
Toos. And Lisa. Joke. Joke.
choke, choke,
Toos. And Toya. Joke. Joke.
Joke, joke.
Toos.
Is that right?
Yeah. Mercy. Joke. Joke.
Choke. What? Choke. Choke.
He. Toos. And Chris. Joke. Joke.
Joke. Joke.
Toos. All right. And then we'll go with the examples for the length. So we have lu versus alu. Alu, alu. Chris.
Alu versus Alu.
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 Yeah.
Alu.
Toos. Yeah, make sure you get that L slightly longer. Good. Kenwa. Alu. Alu.
Alu. Alu.
Toos. Yeah, same thing. Just hold that L just slightly. On the longer L. Lisa. Alu, alu,
Alu, alu.
tus, tus. And Toea, alu, alu,
Alu, alu,
alu.
alu.
Yeah, and then just hold the sound a little longer.
Alu,
Alu on the second one.
alu. I'm getting stuck on that
It
one.
sounds like you're saying the first one, alu.
Okay, alu. Oh, is the first one, and then the second one would be just alu,
Alu.
alu.
Yeah, and then you hold the L sound because see, there's two L's there. Or did you see where it's highlighted on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two L's, that's a longer L. And then the two A's, that's a longer A on the first word.
So the first one would be alu, and then
Yeah.
the second one would be alu,
Yes, alu, alu.
alu.
E. Peace. All right. And then Mercy, alu, alu.
Alu, alu.
Tooth.
Wait, hold up. I'll try that again. Alu, alu.
So almost, I think you were closer the first time. So alu,
Alu,
and then alu.
alu.
Tooth. Good. All right. And Letty, alu, alu,
Alu, alu,
alu.
alu.
Tooth. Okay. Yeah, this long L, it's easy just on hungry, alu. Some people just say alu. It's easy to just say alu versus alu. But
How do you say I'm hungry?
alu sui.
Alusui. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was very hungry.
Yep. And okay, we're kind of running out of time. So I'm just gonna go to the domain for today. So we have the Jit La Kuchi, which is to wash your hands. So yeah, next domain. It kind of, I don't know, this one seems to kind of replace the sink one a little bit because you're gonna turn on the water and stuff when you wash your hands, right? So you guys should recognize this from the domain last week. So Sajalakji ga astijuke. So I turn on the water faucet. Okay, so Sajalakji ga astijuke. So since I was in last week's, we'll move on to number 2. Just because we've got 12 minutes. So I want to make sure to get through all of it. So depending if you have a liquid soap or a solid soap, then it changes what you're going to do with the soap, right? So if it's a solid, like a bar of soap, then it would be saja sachji. Saja sachji ga dinja le. So the soap is dinja le. And saja sachji is I pick up. So Letty, saja sachji ga dinja le.
Saja sakji ga tingja tu le.
Close. So saja sachji.
Saja sachji. Saja sachji ga tinja tu le.
Dinja le.
Tinja tu le.
Pretty good. Okay, and then yeah, okay. And then Kenwa saja sachji ga dinja le.
Saja Sachji Ga Tinja le.
Tus. And Lisa saja sachji ga dinja le.
Saja sachji ga tinja tutle.
Dinja tule.
Dinja tutle.
He. And Toea Saja Such Ji ga Dinja tule.
Saja such G ga dinja tutle.
He. Tule. It's the,
Tutle.
there you go. Yeah, it's a glottalized T. Tus. Mercy. Saja Such Ji ga Dinja tule.
Saja sachi ga dinja tule.
Pretty close. So the first word, Saja Such Ji.
Oh, okay. Saja sachi ga dinja tule.
Okay, so the first word, so such G, that part right there, that's the hard part. Such G.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm like writing this down.
Okay.
Saja sachi ga.
E.
Thank you.
Tus. All right, and then Chris, Saja Such G, Gatinja Dule.
Sacha Sachi Ga Tenka Tule.
Close. So the same, this part, this is always the hard part right there. So Such G, Such G.
Sacha Sachi.
So let's see, this is two different sounds. So Such G.
Okay. Sacha Sachi Ga Tenka Tule.
Dinja
Tenja Tule.
Dule.
Sacha Sach. And then the CI after the glottal stop is
Is a G. So Saja.
Yeah.
The C is when it's before the vowel, it sounds more like a J.
okay,
Saja.
so Sacha Sach G Ga Tenka Tule.
Dinja
Tenja Tule.
Dule. You get the stop because it's the glottal L. Dule.
Tenja Tule.
E. Tus.
I gotta work on it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ga Ja Tule.
E. Tus. Okay, and then this word here is saguspaki. Saguspaki. So since this one's the same, I'll just have everybody go through and say saguspaki. So let's see, Chris, saguspaki.
Sakuspaki.
He. Tus. Kenwa, saguspaki.
Saguspaki.
He. And Lisa, saguspaki.
Sagospaki.
He. And Toea, saguspaki.
Saguspaki.
He. And Mercy, saguspaki.
Saguspaki.
He. And Letty, saguspaki.
Sagospaki.
He. And yeah, so then that's I squirt it or spurt it. It's listed as spurt, but spurt, I don't know, same thing. So yeah, that would be like if you have a liquid soap, right? So okay, and then I wash my hands. Saji la kuji. Saji la kuji. Kuji. There you go. Saji la kuji. Letty, saji la kuji.
Sajit la Gucci.
He. Kenwa, saji la kuji.
Sajit Lakuchi.
He. Lisa, saji la kuji.
Sajit lakuchi.
He. Toea, saji la kuji.
Sajit Laguchi.
He. And Mercy, saji la kuji.
Saji la kuchi.
He. And Chris, sa chi la ku chi.
Sa ji la gu ji.
He. Tus. All right. And then we have Saja Scout Lock Ji ga Astajuke. So this is also from last week's, right? I block the water, I turn off the water faucet. Saja Scout Lock Ji ga Astajuke. So yeah, I'll just go to number 5. So hopefully you guys have been practicing saying this. If not, you'll get to this week. All right. And then here we have, I mean, yeah, it's drying our hands. So saja sach ji. So pick up again, right? Ga dija su je. Dija su je. So that's the thing I dry my hands with. Dija su je. Okay, Chris, saja sach ji. Ga dija su je.
Sa ja sa ji ga ti gas jusun. Can't. I don't know. Sa ga sa ji ga ti ja su ji.
Close. Dija su je.
Ti ja su je.
E. Tus.
Okay.
Kenwa saja sach ji ga dija su je.
Saja Satchi Gadija Suche
Su je.
Suche.
E.
J or J?
Su je.
J. Okay.
It's just this glottal C right here on dija su je.
Okay.
Dija su je. So you kind of got that little creakiness, little like in that little stop before the C. Dija su je.
Suche.
E.
Suche. Okay.
Tus. Lisa, saja sach ji ga dija su je.
Saja sach ji ga diju such je.
Dija su je.
Dija such je.
So yeah, this is a hard sentence because in the
Dija
first
such
word
je.
we got saja sach ji, right? There's this glottal C, and then it's
Saja
followed by a
sach.
regular C, and then here it's just a glottal C.
Okay.
So yeah,
Diju such.
dija su je.
So you're not saying like CHE, you're saying it as a glottal C?
Yeah, so su je, kind of hear that like it's kind of stopping right as I'm about to say the C. Dija su je. Dija su je.
Dija such je.
Dija su je.
Dija such je.
So dija su
Dija such
je.
je.
Yeah.
Okay. Dija such je.
Dija su je.
Dija
E.
such je.
E. Tus. Toea saja sach ji ga dija su je.
Daza such G ga daja zu J.
Saja
Saja
sach ji.
Dutch G
And then dija
Dija
su
Su
je.
J.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's good. Good. Okay. Mercy saja sach ji ga dija su je.
Saja sachi ga dija suche.
He. So yeah, the second word, the last word you got perfect. The first word saja sach ji.
Saja sachi. Wait, I still said that weird.
Such
Saja sachi.
such G.
Sachi.
It's the two separate sounds on in
Yeah.
such and then G. Saja such. G.
Sachi. Saja sachi. Sajasatji.
There you go.
I do have to leave right now for internship, but thank you everybody, and I hope you have a good day.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Connor.
Have a good day. See y'all.
Mahina macho.
Hannah Macho.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. Wait, did anybody not say it? Oh,
Could you say
all
that?
go.
Could you say that over again, please?
Sure, yeah. So saja satji ga dija suje. Saja satji ga dija suje. So okay, one thing is, and I know this is kind of hard. A lot of times people like to take notes during this, and you can't, it's up to you. But from what I've seen is that when you write it down, how it sounds to you, and then but then it's like, so then you have your own writing, and then you have this writing, and then you're trying to remember how it sounds, and then you read your own writing later, and then you have to remember, okay, what does that mean? Because you don't have, like in English, phonetics, they don't have certain sounds, right? Like there's not a glottal C sound in English. So then you end up doing more work later. I don't know. That's kind of how it seemed to go. I mean, it can help some people, but at least what I've noticed is in class, it ends up being easier to pronounce stuff in the class when you're more focused on listening as opposed to writing. I think that's what I was trying to get around to anyways, is the focus should be more on the listening than the writing. But everybody knows how they learn the best, so it's up to you, but that's just what I've noticed. Okay, so yeah, saja satji ga dija suje. So yeah, this is a hard one because the endings of these words sound close, but they're slightly different because the satji, you got the two different, the glottal C and a regular C, and then suje is just a glottal C, right? Suje. Yep. This one, suje. Okay.
Connor, the third word, dija,
Mhm.
suche.
Mhm.
The C right there, is that a J, like a J sound?
This first one?
Yeah. Ja?
Yes. So yeah, that one is, you see this jaw.
Ja. Okay.
Yeah. So the jaw, that means like with your fingers, like grasping, basically with your fingers. That's kind of what that's talking about. So the jaw, yeah, jaw. So saja satji, that means I pick it up, right? So the jaw is like you're using your fingers. The S means I, right? The jaw is like fingers grasping kind of thing. The such is like an upward movement. And then G, that's like you'll see a lot of verbs end with G. So that just means like it's something you're doing.
Sorry, Connor, I have to run too. Have class.
Okay. Mahina macho.
Sapti.
So then here, this ja is the same. And then the suit is I think that's like to dry, pretty much.
Okay.
And then the this e, the that is a thing. It means it's a thing, so it's a noun. So it's the thing you dry with, or you grasp and dry with. Yeah.
Where did you learn all this, Connor?
Like basically, so some in school through like linguistics, and then talking with the linguist who's recorded like a lot of our, like he did his field work in the 70s. so he worked with a lot of our fluent speakers back then. And so then, yeah, he hung out around here for a while. And then, yeah, I've been, working with him for about like 4 years now. So just kind of over time,
Got it.
picking
Nice.
stuff up. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like with like, linguistics is just kind of a tool that it just you're able to like break these words down and like kind of get like the pieces, because that's how our language works, is like you have all these little pieces and you can like you put them together and then it can kind of like say something. So or like comes up with a meaning. So
Got it.
yeah. So
Well, at first glance, you look at those words and it's like, oh my God, what are
right,
they
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah, it
So,
looks
but breaking it
intimidating.
down, yeah, I could see how, once you practice, it gets easier.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean it can help to, I guess I kind of always I need to remember sometimes if you just break it down into syllables,
Uh-huh.
maybe that makes it easier. So I got to remember to do that if people are struggling.
Yes.
So like, okay, this number 6 here. Okay, we're almost done. Sajasu chege. So if you notice, this is dijasu che. So that's the thing you dry your hands with, right? Sajasu. So that's almost the same, right? Sajasu. But it just has this thing on the end. Okay. So the S is I or me, right? The jaw is
Uh-huh.
like your fingers. The such is to dry, and then this right here, age, means what's what they call it, reflexive, but that means like you're doing it to yourself, right? Age, so saja such jege, saga su saja su jege, saja su jege. So that would be like I'm drying myself, right? And then ka il is hand, right? So I'm drying my hands. I'm drying the hands. I'm drying myself the hands would be the literal translation.
Got it.
Yeah. So let's see. Sajasu chege.
Sajasu chike.
I ka il.
Ga il.
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 I. Tus. All right, Tue, you want to give it a try?
Saja such jagay got
Saja-
ill.
Oh, tus. Sajasu chege.
Sajasu chike. Ga
I.
il.
Tus. All right. Cool. And then here we got number 7. So I hang the towel up. So like, I mean, when I dry my hands, I don't really like take it off the towel rack. I just kind of grab it and then dry. So like if you don't take it off and you don't like, then you don't need to hang it back up. So if you don't do that, you don't got to say that part. Just put it in there. If you do that, then yeah, say it. So this is sanahuji gadijasuje. Sanahuji gadijasuje. So I hang the towel up. So right, dijasuje, towel, thing you dry your hands with. And then sanahuji gadijasuje. Lisa.
Sanahuchi ga tijan. Wait, say this last one again.
Dijasuje.
Tijasuche.
It's more of a d.
De.
Dija.
Dija. Suche.
E.
Okay.
Tuea.
Sana who sana
Hu- Huji.
Huji.
hoochie. Sana hoochie
E.
da. I'm trying not to look at my notes. I'm trying to read it, so that's why I'm kind of having a hard
Dija.
time.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I'll let you say it.
Okay, I'll say it so you can hear it again.
Okay.
Dijasuje,
Das. Okay, do it again.
dijasuje,
Deja su J.
e.
Good job.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Cool. Okay. So let's hang the towel up. And then next we have I finished washing my hands. So this word right here is sada skaomi. Sada skaomi. So that's you're gonna see that a lot because that's like I finished. Like I'm finished doing this thing, right? Sada skaomi. So no, I'll probably break it apart. Ska wumi. Sada ska wumi. Ka dajit la kuji, right? So to wash your hands is dajit la kuji. So sada ska wumi ga dajit la kuji. Lisa.
Sa daskaomi ga techi laguchi. Oh,
Goose.
wow.
Good.
Surprised myself.
Good. It's really good.
Oh, wow. It's hard. Okay.
Talia, go for it. Sada
Sada-
ska wumi ga dajit la kuji.
Sada scow me. Da.
Dajit la kuji.
Digit. See, I'm
Dajit la. Dajit la.
Dajit la.
Kuji. He.
Dajit
good.
la Gucci.
Dajit la kuji. He.
Gucci.
Yep.
Okay.
Goose. All right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Any questions on this one?
No.
Nope. All right. Cool. Okay. So yeah, that's to wash your hands. And yeah, I mean that's all I got for you guys for this week. So yeah,
So then we're supposed to review and
Oh.
practice the worksheet that we just did.
oh yeah, so you should print that out, the washing your hands domain, and put it on your bathroom wall. And then every time you wash your hands, just like self-narrate as you're doing those steps.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way it's not like how it's supposed to be is like it's kind of built into your routine. So every time you wash your hands, you do it. And you don't have to like set aside time to like practice because your
Mhm.
practice is when you wash your hands. But
Okay.
if you want to do extra practice, then of course, do as much as you want. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the main core is the focus is to like have the domain posted on your wall. So then like you just do it whenever you actually do the thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Have a
you,
good-
Mahina Macho.
All
Have a good
right,
day.
Mahina Macho.
That's one word. That's one word I got.
Macho.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right.